Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Women Talking. So Women Talking is a new film that follows a group of women in a Mennonite community that really need to come to grips with the conflict between their faith and their personal experiences, because there are men that are going around this town assaulting these women and they need to decide how they're going to handle it. The town wants them to kind of use these old-fashioned Mennonite ways of just letting the men do what they want to do. They're seen almost as property to these men. And then another facet says, hey, they should just leave this town. They should move out on their own and stop living under this oppressive regime. This movie really is a microcosm of our world as a whole, and a movement for women to kind of take some of their rights and take on some of the power in this world. And it really explores the ideas of how women can take on the patriarchy. It kind of talks about the ideas of the reliance on men, and kind of they're built into the structure where it makes it so difficult for them to go out on their own. They don't know the world. They don't know how to handle it. And I do think that taking the idea of a Mennonite community, someone who's very isolated and away from everyone, doesn't have the idea for education or exploration, they don't know anything, is a great use of this and kind of showing it as a small case study. The performances are really solid, and we get to see multiple generations and their perspectives of the world as a whole. I feel like that's something that people can relate to in their own lives, whether it be your mother, your grandmother, your daughter, and how they all look at the same thing, how they look at feminism, how they look at women's rights, and it kind of shows that in this film. It's interesting to see all the different performances. And as you expect from the title, the movie is a lot of dialogue. The movie almost takes place exclusively in this hay barn where these women are coming and talking about what they're going to do. They're trying to formulate a plan. They only have a few days to decide how they're going to handle it. Are they going to go apologize to the men? Are they going to go out on their own? So I think it does a great job of just tightening it up to just be this back and forth and like a conversation about this. It really is a conversation about the issues that these women are facing. And I think we can definitely extrapolate that to the world as a whole. And I think kind of the shorter runtime of being like an hour and 40 minutes long really works for this movie. If you would have stretched this out into 2 or 2.5 hours, I think it would have been difficult to watch, just a lot of this constant dialogue, this back and forth. And they do a good job of actually moving the movie along with a lot of lightheartedness and kind of humor to it. When I was first watching it, it kind of seems like it's going to be a very dark and oppressive film, but it brings a lot of light into the world, and I think it shows kind of a happy ending and kind of a progress to things. It could have been very oppressive and very difficult to watch, but kind of interjecting that positive movement to it made it that much more compelling and interesting to watch. If I were to rate this movie, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I think it is a very important movie with some really important messages. I don't know if everyone will fully appreciate those messages, but I think if you go into it and kind of are open to what it's talking about and some of its themes, it is based on a novel, and I do think it has a lot to say. I think the performances are solid, and it kind of shows the different facets. It isn't kind of like a whoop whoop hooray type movie when it comes to this kind of stuff. It does have some darker tones to it, but it feels very grounded and very real. It, like I said, it is like a small little case study that's showing a bigger issue throughout society. So if you end up checking out Women Talking, let me know what you thought about it. I'm really interested to see what people think if they check this movie out. Leave those comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.